Formula One is one of the most exclusive and expensive sports, raking in billions of dollars annually. Of course, the cost of taking this massive show on the road and racing at circuits all over the world is enormous as well. Not to mention the pay for the drivers who work hard and take risks every day for the thrill of racing and no doubt to benefit their bank account. Although exact figures for drivers' salaries are not released, we've gone to the trouble of compiling an estimated list of the world's richest Formula One racers, past and present, based on their net worth. So, without further ado, here are the top 10 richest F1 drivers of all time. Enjoy. 10. Alain Prost, $100 million. Starting to race as a teenager, Frenchman Alain Prost became known as the Professor and was one of the greatest racers of the 1980s. Until Michael Schumacher surpassed him, the four-time world champion held the record for most Grand Prix victories, stepping up to the top step of the podium on 51 occasions. Furthermore, after retiring, he made more money as the owner of his own team, Prost Grand Prix, and as a technical advisor for his former teams, McLaren and Renault. He's also said to be a successful stock and real estate investor, adding further millions to his already impressive net worth. 9. Eddie Irvine, $120 million. Fast Eddie won 4 of his 148 races during his one-decade career beginning in 1983, with all of his victories coming for Ferrari, earning him around $50 million. But thanks to wise property investments, the Northern Irish driver was a millionaire before he even started racing. Currently, he owns approximately 50 different flats and houses, adding to his already massive net worth. His investments were so successful that, according to the Sunday Times Rich List, published in 2006, Irvine was the 5th richest person of Northern Ireland at that time. While he made a lot of money after his F1 career, he hasn't stayed out of trouble. On 9th of January 2014, Irvine was sentenced to 6 months in prison in Italy after being found guilty of mutual injury following a brawl in a Milan nightclub with Gabriele Moratti, son of former Milan mayor Letizia Moratti. However, Moratti's lawyer, Vincenzo Saponara, told the press that the sentence would most likely be suspended and that neither man would be imprisoned. 8. Mario Andretti, $130 million. Mario Andretti is one of the most successful American racers and one of only 2 drivers with race wins in Formula One, IndyCar, the World Sports Car Championship, and NASCAR. During his racing career, he reportedly earned up to $12 million per year. He's still a petrol head, owning dozens of gas stations in Northern California, but his interests aren't limited to racing. He also owns a Napa Valley vineyard that produces over 30,000 cases of wine per year and has appeared in several TV shows, including Home Improvement and It Takes a Thief. As you may be aware, Andretti is also currently attempting to enter his own Formula One team with the technical and monetary support from Cadillac. Unfortunately, his efforts have drawn a lot of criticism from current teams, and he's been one of the major ripples between the FIA and F1 management, who have recently begun feuding. 7. Sebastian Vettel, $140 million. After winning 4 consecutive Formula One titles with Red Bull from 2010 to 2013, Vettel moved on to Ferrari, which he earned close to $40 million per year, according to Forbes. After failing to carry the prancing horses to championship victory, however, he left for the rebranded Aston Martin team, where he would eventually announce his retirement from the sport. Off the track, the 34-year-old German also makes a lot of money, earning around $300,000 for each endorsement from companies like Casio, Infiniti, and Pepe Jeans. He also has a massive car collection worth around $13 million, which includes several Ferraris, Mercedes, and BMWs. In recent years, Vettel has been increasingly focused on championing various causes, such as the fight against climate change and advocating for human rights. Hopefully, he'll enjoy his time away from F1's relentless spotlight, and who knows, maybe we'll see Vettel back on the track soon. After all, Formula One drivers aren't known for their patience. 6. Jenson Button, $150 million. Jenson Button famously won the 2009 Formula One Championship with Brawn GP, helping them win both titles on their debut year, something no one else was able to achieve in the history of the sport. Button claimed victory on 15 occasions during his 17-year career. On joining McLaren in 2010, his annual salary was estimated to be about $16.5 million, bringing him the majority of his fortune. Since retiring, the British star has continued to make money from the sport as a Sky Sports commentator and senior advisor to his former Williams team. In addition to F1, Button raced in Super GT and the World Endurance Championship, and he competed in the Race of Champions 6 times. Button is also involved in charitable work, having established the JENSON Button Trust. The trust, which was established in March 2010, selects and nominates a number of charitable beneficiaries who receive funding. He's a patron of a Make-A-Wish Foundation UK, which grants terminally ill children and young people's wishes, a sport ambassador for both the Prince's Trust and the Princess Charlene of Monaco Foundation, and a supporter of the Sean Edwards Foundation. 5. Niki Lauda, $200 million. Passing away at the age of 70 in 2019, Niki Lauda still ranks as one of the richest racers of all time. The 3-time world champion from Austria is the only driver to have won the title for both Ferrari and McLaren, the sport's 2 most successful constructors. His deal with McLaren on his return to Formula 1 after a brief retirement in 1982 paid the equivalent of $12 million per year today, according to Celebrity Net Worth. The legendary driver ruled not only the racetrack but also the aviation industry, owning 3 airlines at different times: Lauda Air, Niki and Lauda. 4. Kimi Räikkönen, $250 million. In his 20 years racing in Formula 1 from 2001 to 2021 for Sauber, McLaren, Ferrari, Lotus and Alfa Romeo, Kimi Räikkönen became one of the world's highest paid athletes. He has 349 Grand Prix starts, the second most in history, and has 103 podiums to his name. Earning approximately $25 million per year on average, the Iceman earned up to $50 million per year with Ferrari at his peak, including an undisclosed bonus for his title in 2007. He also has a substantial real estate portfolio, which includes a $24 million dream home in Bar, Switzerland, and a luxurious beachfront property in Phuket, Thailand, among other things. 3. Fernando Alonso, $260 million. Spaniard Fernando Alonso has been competing in Formula 1 since 2001. He became the youngest Formula 1 world champion at the time in 2005, won a second title in the next season, and has 32 Grand Prix victories in all. At his peak, he reportedly earned up to $40 million per year, and according to Forbes, his current salary is around $25 million. Along with another $1 million per year from lucrative deals with brands like Citibank, Pirelli and Adidas, he also makes a lot of money from his own streetwear brand Kimoa, which he launched in 2017. 2. Lewis Hamilton, $285 million. Lewis Hamilton is without doubt the world's best modern driver, with 7 championship trophies tying the legendary Michael Schumacher's record, and he's won more individual races than anyone else, first to the checkered flag on 103 occasions. Statistically, he outperforms every other driver in Formula 1 history, and that talent, combined with his ability to maintain peak form year after year, has earned him more than enough compensation. According to Forbes, he's now the highest paid racing star, earning $62 million on the track, including a $55 million base salary and $7 million in bonuses. He also earns an estimated $12 million per year in endorsement fees from Tommy Hilfiger, Puma, Sony, Bose, Petronas and others. 1. Michael Schumacher, $600 million. When he retired in 2012, the German legend held nearly every Formula 1 record, including 7 world titles and 91 victories. Michael Schumacher earned up to $100 million per year at his peak, totaling over $1 billion in career earnings. Even when he wasn't racing, Schumacher earned more than $50 million per year in endorsements from companies like Shell, Mercedes-Benz, Ferrari and Vodafone. In particular, he was paid up to $10 million per year just for wearing a Shell cap, or later, one for Deutsche Beratung. Schumacher served as UNESCO's special ambassador and donated over 1.5 million euros to the organization. He also paid for the construction of a school for poor children and neighborhood improvements in Dakar, Senegal. He supported a hospital for child victims of the siege in Sarajevo, which specializes in caring for amputees. In Lima, Peru, he funded the Palace for the Poor, a center that provides education, clothing, food, medical care, and shelter to homeless street children. F1 magazine quoted Schumacher as saying, "It's great if you can use your fame and the power your fame gives you to draw attention to things that really matter." In 2013, Schumacher sustained a serious head injury while skiing in the French Alps. He was airlifted to Grenoble Hospital and underwent 2 surgical procedures. Due to the traumatic brain injury, Schumacher was placed in a medically induced coma. There have been encouraging signs since then, with the German reportedly making progress in his recovery, though details are scarce as his family seeks to protect his privacy. Well, that brings us to the end of our list. What are your thoughts? Which drivers on the grid right now have a chance to make the top 10? Max Verstappen sure seems like a good candidate, but can he do it? Please let us know in the comment section down below. Now, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified of our next uploads. Check out our other videos on the screen right now as well. Thank you for watching and we'll see you again soon.